going to a base called Ofer. It's right outside Piskat Zev.
Okay, yeah. So
and then we're going to go to another big base, Nachshonim. And then the third base that we're going to be going to is Tel HaShomer. That is outside Tel Aviv. That's a giant army base that also includes an army hospital. That's the itinerary for today.
And welcome to another edition of Talkline. I'm Zev Brenner, coming here from Israel from the 11th annual mission of the ZOA of Brooklyn, and Rubin Margules giving Mishlach Manot packages to the soldiers. We'll be right back with our trip from various army bases throughout the country right after these messages. Stay tuned.
Is getting a good night's sleep getting impossible? Well, not anymore. Introducing Side Sleeper Pro. It's much more than a good night's sleep. The secret is Side Sleeper Pro's doctor-developed ergonomic patented design to help support the neck and spine. Here's how it works. Watch as Side Sleeper Pro guides your head, neck, and vertebrae into natural alignment, relieving pressure on the neck while unrestricting airways. The tail cradles your back to ensure correct posture. Now, you can wake with less stiffness and feel rested thanks to improved sleep posture. Side Sleeper Pro is only $39.99 and it's guaranteed to work. But wait, order right now and we'll cut the price to $19.99. We'll include a washable cotton pillowcase for free. Call or order online at sidesleeperpro.com and we'll double your order. Just pay the additional processing and handling. That's 2 Side Sleeper Pros for the price of 1.
To get 2 Side Sleeper Pros and 2 pillowcases for $19.99, call 1-800-760-0735 or visit sidesleeperpro.com.
We pledge to preserve their memory. For over 50 years, Yad Vashem has collected millions of Holocaust victims' names. But many are still missing. The central database of Shoah victims' names is now on the internet. This is a race against time. Visit the site today and submit unrecorded names so they will always be remembered.
Hi, my name is Itzik. I service in this camp, and I want to say thank you to everybody. And we're so glad you're here. And I want to bless you in Chag Purim Sameach.
Roy is with the Army for about 3 years from Petah Tikva. What's a typical day in the Army like?
To work.
To work.
No
yeah.
sleep.
No
eat,
sleep.
Only work.
But you're smiling.
Of course, I'm protecting my country.
That's a wonderful feeling. What's the general feeling of young people who they're here in America? They don't have a draft. In Israel, they have a draft. Is it something that people are looking forward to? Because the Army really sets you for life.
When American boys or girls they get to 18, they go to college to have good time.
Right.
When we are getting to 18, we're going to fight, most of us. So life takes us, and uncontrollably they take us and make us adults. They mature us, and we got no other choice. We can start our life until we finish the army in 21 at least, and after that we start to live.
What do you plan to do after the Army?
I'm sticking in the army another year as a volunteering as some kind of a work, and after that it's to trip around the world to see some world, and after that to learn, to start a family, start to live.
Wonderful. You should have a lot of success. Thank you. We're bringing you a little cheer from America, some Mishlach Manot for the Purim holiday.
Thank you very much.
Did you expect to see us today? People coming?
Yes, of course.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
It's a wonderful thing to see that people appreciate what kids are doing here for every day and every week, with no Shabbat, with no holiday. In last Friday, there was the thing that happened in Itamar, the massacre. So everybody got back from the houses to the bases for some activities. Everybody got something to do in the end.
when it happened, terrorist incident, I'm sure it puts the soldiers at edge. It just makes you feel compassion what's going on. But this is the work that you're
It's not
doing.
compassion. When everybody gets the call before it gets to the television, every soldier gets his call from his commander, like I called to my soldiers, and you say we got thing that happened like this and that, and you need to come back to the base. And when everybody gets to the base, we give them the brief to what we are about to do in the next day, and everybody go to his assignments.
And you have people working. You have a position in the base, right?
Yes,
What is
I
it?
am the commander of the computer system. After 2.5 years I was a fighter, I passed by to the computer system management, and I have my soldiers, and they go to make sure that all the systems are working.
And that's very important because today, unfortunately, warfare is also more and more computerized. So what
It's
you're doing,
most computerized.
Exactly.
The gun as itself, as a gun, is the last thing in the action. Most of it is to know after that, to know what's about to happen, and after that you fight.
Terrific. Thank you, and for the work that you're doing for all of us. You're keeping all
Thank
of us,
you.
whether we're in
Thank you.
America, wherever we are. Thank you. Toda.
Thank you for the help.
On my left is the commander of the base. It's Liam and Hadassah. Okay, so thank you for having us. Nice to see. This is where we have young ladies that are. This is the army for the portion for the young women, right?
Yes.
And
Not only women.
not only, but this portion we are right now.
Thank you, everybody,
for being here. For being here.
for being here. It's very excited for us.
We're a whole group of soldiers here at the Ofer Army Base, and tell us your name.
Shafti.
Shafti, where are you from, Shafti? Tekoa. And how long are you in the army?
What?
How long are you in Kazahal?
1 year.
1 year, okay. And we're from America. We're giving Mishlach Manot. Good to see you.
We're from America.
New York. New York. So, how you enjoying your stay in the army? How is it for you?
Hard but fun.
Hard but fun.
I'm Yakir.
Yakir. Okay, where are you from, Yakir?
Kiryat Gat.
Kiryat Gat. And how long are you in the army?
1 year.
Oh, 1 year. And how do you find army life?
איך אתה נראה בצבא? סבבה.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, good experience for you. And yourself? You're from where?
near Tel Aviv.
From Tel Aviv?
In the middle of the country.
In the middle of the country, okay. And I see everybody gets along so nicely here at this base, right? Which is wonderful to see. Everybody from all different backgrounds. Dati, lo dati.
Those two is... they have a special... איך אומרים שם?
Unit?
No. They have a special... what we do?
What we do together, okay. What do you do that's so special?
They are in the Shiva.
Uh-huh.
And they... we? Okay. Before from Gush Etzion.
Oh, you were in the Hesder Yeshiva?
Yes.
Both in the Hesder Yeshiva?
He not.
Not yet, you mean? Good, and you're also about a year in the army? Good, so we bring you Shalach Manot cheer from America. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Good, toda, toda, toda. Shalom, shalom, thank you. Tam lecha. Toda. Gideon Katz is here from New Orleans. He's volunteering, giving out Shalach Manot. And you're going into the army, right?
Yes, I'm going in April 10th. Trying to get into a combat unit, probably Nachal or something along these lines.
But are you a United States citizen, Israeli
Yes,
citizen?
I'm a United States citizen going into a program called Nachal.
And what tell us about the program?
The program is basically a year and a half long. It starts off with the Ulpan, and from there you go into your unit, and in basic training you get to be a soldier, and you can basically decide if you want to sign up for more and make Aliyah. And so it's a really good program for people in the United States to get into.
Well, how did you decide to join the army?
Well, I'm a Zionist and pro-Israeli, and I wanted to really do something for the country. So this is what I wanted to do.
Kolo, so you're here getting ready. You're going to see the preview of all the army bases. You might be in one of them when you get to the army, right?
Absolutely.
But you're giving out Shalach Manos gifts to this on your way to the army. Wonderful. And next year when we come, God willing, we'll be able to give you a gift in your uniform.
Absolutely.
You should have a lot of hatzlacha, a lot of success. Wonderful what you're doing. Terrific, terrific.
Different kids wrote different things. Gingy's Ofi, Gingy's a Teva. Arosha Gingy bohem Mitzeva.
Rubin, sing. Rubin, sing.
Gingy's Ofi, Gingy's a Teva. Arosha Gingy bohem Mitzeva. Nachon? Okay, Gingy is a song they used to sing to me. Once upon a time, I was a Gingy also. Now you know what you can look forward to.
And your work.
Thank you very much.
Ma?
Thank you.
It's my pleasure. Toda Rabba Lachem. I love Israel.
Hi, I want to say thank you for Mishlach Manot. We love you and thank you.
Thank you very much.
We'll be right back with our very special broadcast from Army bases throughout Israel right after these messages. Stay tuned.
Kosher Expeditions provides unique activity-based tour vacations with delicious glatt kosher cuisine, cooked fresh on site to over 30 of the world's most exotic destinations, including Costa Rica, the Canadian Rockies, Spain, and African safari. Relax at our 7-year running Passover holiday adventure located at our Kosher LePesach luxury beachside resort in Costa Rica. Enjoy breathtaking ocean views surrounded by exotic wildlife on an all-inclusive Pesach vacation that includes inspiring lectures, children's programming, and exciting Costa Rican adventure tours during Chol Hamoed. Kosher Expeditions operates year-round tours, offering all-inclusive travel programs to custom and private groups, students, camps, young adults, and regularly scheduled departures. Come tour with the most established kosher tour operator since 1994. Call Kosher Expeditions at 877-JT-KOSHER or visit them online at kosherexpeditions.com, the source for exciting worldwide kosher adventures.
I've been on a lot of TV shows, but one of my favorites is Zev Brenner on Talkline. I love this show. I love this network. I love talking about my books, my activities with Zev Brenner. Good questions, good listeners, always get a good response.
Talkline now on throughout the metro area on WRNN Channel 62, Sunday nights at 11 p.m. and Fridays at 1 p.m. For other times, please check your local cable guide or call 1-866-MY-TV-SHOW.
I'm Zev Brenner coming to you from various Army bases throughout the land of Israel on the 11th annual mission of the ZOA of Brooklyn, and Rubin Margules giving out Mishlach Manot packages saying thank you to Israeli Army soldiers throughout the country.
זה דבר ראשון. האיש הזה, רובין מרגוליס, הוא מארגן את כל העניין הזה. הוא זה שהשיג את הכל. הוא זה שהביא את האנשים הנפלאים האלה.
We're speaking with the Sar Tabachim, the captain of the kitchen.
Yeah.
Mickey from which part of Beit Shemesh? So you're 9 years a chef in the army?
Yeah.
How is the cook for 900 people?
It's a hard work. We have 9 kitchen.
You have 9 kitchens.
9 kitchen, and we have a lot of work.
Now tell me, because I've eaten army food, everybody says you go eat in the army food, not so good. It was terrific, it was better than a restaurant. Is this all bases have such good food?
Yeah.
So that being part of the Israeli army, one of the things is it has to be the food has to be good.
Yeah.
What is it like cooking? Do you have to worry about special taste, special needs with different soldiers?
We have a lot of stuff. We have vegetables, we have good vegetables, we have meat, good meat, good טבחים טובים.
You have a good kitchen, right?
Good kitchen.
And we're in a temporary quarter. This looks like almost like a garage, but you're building a bigger dining room.
We are in זה מקום זמני, כן,
It's temporary quarters on this. Now, when it deals with meat, as far as the kashrut, is it done different standards of kashrut, mahadrin, regular? How does it work in there?
We have mahadrin and we have normal.
So you have regular kosher and you have more strict kosher. Yeah. There's a special kitchen for
No, it's רק לגבי הבשר, meat.
when it comes to the meat, right?
The meat is חלק או רגיל. ושאר הדברים זה הכל מהדרין.
Okay, so everything is mahad, but when it comes to the meat though, all the meat is mahadrin, the extra special, or is it the combination?
Combination.
So somebody wants to eat only mahadrin, they come to you and you make special provisions for that. And you have requests, so because you have everywhere. You have religious, non-religious. You have charedim in this space too?
Yeah.
Or you have charedim in the base?
We have 5, 6.
From the charedi. And they're part of are they a separate unit or they're part of the whole base? Oh, it's all part together. How is it being religious in the army?
Huh?
Being religious in the army. I know you're a dati. How is it being religious in the army? Tell us about some of the challenges. השאלה להיות דתי בצה"ל.
אתה יכול להיות בראש שקט.
You can do everything.
Everything.
Wonderful.
We have בית כנסת, תפילות, אוכל כשר, יש לי פה משגיח כשרות, שהוא בורר את האורז, מנפה קמח, check everything.
Wonderful, wonderful. Toda, thank you. And your food is mitzuyan. When you get out of the army, you're going to open up a restaurant? I'll be your first customer. Toda, Toda. Thank you. We're speaking with Abichai. He is the sous chef here at the Army base, and this is the newest Army base. And how are the kitchen facilities to cook?
Very good.
The food same every day or different?
Different.
Different. Okay. Like today we had kebab, and tomorrow.
Chicken.
Oh, chicken. So you vary a little bit. Wonderful. Mitsuyan, I enjoyed it very much. Toda. We're speaking with Arik from Jerusalem here at this is the newest army base in Israel. Beautiful base. Tell us, what does the purple cap signify?
Purple is Givati. It's a fighting unit. I started my service in this unit, and I was a commander at Givati. And now I'm here. I'm the commander of this base.
Oh, you commanded the base.
And it was very nice to see all of you here in Israel with that present for Purim.
Well, we're here to say thank you. We're bringing Mishlach Manot from America to say thank you for the work that you're doing, not just for Israel, but for all of us, including in America.
Okay, but I want to say thank you because the soldiers here are very happy to see you and to see that you are appreciate all what we make in Israel. It's very important for us.
No, thank you. How long are you with the Army?
I'm in the Army 21 years.
21? When you're so young, how's that possible?
Looks young because it's a nice place and we love Israel and we love to serve here. So we don't look like that. But
what's your biggest challenge being a commander of the base? This is the newest base. How old is this base?
This base is 5 years old.
5 years old.
And American Army helped us to build this beautiful base, and it's very unique because we do it together, and it's one of the most beautiful base in Israel.
Zvi is from the United States, from Colorado. What are you doing in the Israeli army?
I'm serving here in the Artillery Corps, Special Forces, and enjoying myself very much.
Now, did you make Aliyah?
I made Aliyah a year and a half ago, and I've been in the army just 11 months now.
What is it like being in the army?
It was really hard at first being alone in Israel. And
you came without family?
Yeah, I came without family. I'm a lone soldier. And it was really hard at first finding a place to live. You know,
you speak Hebrew fluently?
I didn't speak Hebrew at all when I got here.
Was that challenging to be part of the Israeli army, not speaking Hebrew?
It was probably the most challenging thing, is not speaking Hebrew.
And now you're speaking it fluently?
Yeah, I went to a 3-month course in the army, Mikveh Elon, and I learned Hebrew very
fast, I guess.
Yep. You're not allowed to speak in English, and they're yelling at you in Hebrew, and So you
Was
pick
there
it up
ever a
very
time when the
quickly.
commander said something and you misunderstood it, did the opposite?
Oh yeah, there's all the time.
And what happened when you did that? He told you to do A, you did B.
When they start screaming at you really fast, you can tune it
You
out.
understand that you did the wrong thing, right?
Exactly.
הם זה ישיבות, יש כמה ישיבות בניו יורק, בסביבה שמה, והתלמידים כתבו, להגיד תודה.
Dear soldier, thank you so much for all you do to protect Israel. You put out your life on the line every day, protecting the state of Israel, allowing them to live in as much as peace as possible. All of us across the world, especially here at, where is it?
Here at it's a school,
It's
DKS.
Okay.
No, so how do you feel? What is your name?
I'm so excited. My name is Tony. I'm so excited.
Because you got shelf when you get letters from students at Yeshiva in the United States.
The letter is like, we never get some letters from the USA, and it's the first time that we get letters, and I'm so excited, and thank you very much. We appreciate it that you wrote us letters. Thank you very much.
The students were appreciative of the work that you're doing for all of us, so thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, and thank you so much for all that you do to protect Israel. Now, no matter what I say, I will not be able to convey all of our
thanks.
The things you do are
unbelievable.
All of us here
In Galut, that's Hebrew.
all stand behind you. Although
Us Americans really have no true idea how much you guys really do. I thank you. My new friend Howard Castle from Philadelphia used to be in the children's furniture business. Now he's spending his time volunteering, going to Israel. He and his wife did a great job putting the Mishlach Manot baskets on the bus that we used to transport to the Israeli army. They did a great job. Good to see you. What are your impressions of the trip so far?
It's absolutely a privilege to do what we're doing. It's an honor and a privilege. It's something that you cannot explain to anyone unless you do it. Just to see the emotions of the people, of the chayalim, of the soldiers that receive it, they are truly touched that people think about them at this time of Purim. That's all you really can say. And then we even have, and Zev has been kind enough to have one of the women soldiers just read a letter from the kids in the schools in the United States. She was about to cry. We can only cry with joy. These are tears of joy that we have that we're doing this.
No, thank you for the work that you, and also for helping us translate some of the. And you've been on this trip before, I assume. Or this the first time?
This is the very first time. Although we've been in Israel.
Like a regular here.
Yeah, we've been in Israel.
The way you do it, you speak to the soldier. I thought you've been doing it for many years.
No, I've done some things with soldiers before, and we've been here more than 36 times.
You've been part of the American military, right?
Correct. That is correct.
So how would you say going to bases to when you were in the army? Is there any different? Do you see the similarities?
Totally different. There's a sense of personal relationship here, I notice, that you don't have in the Army. The United States Army, the structure is really different. Israel gets it done, but it gets it done in a way where everyone does it. It's a chevra. That's exactly right.
It's a right part of the same group.
This is a family to them. There was a book written about that, about the Israeli army and how that fosters the advancement later in the technology and in the economics of Israel, because they make their friends here. They network with each other and they never forget that, because they haven't even gone to university yet. So there's an entirely different atmosphere here in the Israeli army than there is in the American army. And I don't want to say that it has to do with the caliber of the troops. I don't think it has anything to do with that.
The nature of where here everybody's defending the family.
Everyone's in it as one family. Just yesterday, a few days ago, just with the horrible occurrence in Itamar, where in the United States we had terrorist actions like the fellow in the army. He killed 14 soldiers. Were there 25,000 people at the cemetery to bury those chayalim, those soldiers? I don't think so. Here, one is the same. Everybody is in the same family, and I think that's the difference in the United States military. I really do. Don't salute me. Salute them, those that we're giving these Mishlach Manot.
Thank you. Jeffrey Dow joins us with us again on our last broadcast from Army bases throughout the land of Israel, director of the Israel office of the Zionist Organization of America. Rubin Margules, the Brooklyn division, organizes this the 11th trip. Good to see you again, Jeff.
It's great seeing you, Zev.
Always fantastic. No matter how often I go through the base, such excitement that you can see from the soldiers getting the Shalach Manos packages from America. So nice to see.
It's wonderful. In fact, I think that we actually enjoy it more than the soldiers do. But they keep thanking us, we keep thanking them, so it's a great arrangement.
Logistically, I know when we're here coming from the States, everything is already done, but a lot of work goes in before and on the ground, so to speak, because the products are bought in Israel, put together by volunteers in Israel. So let's look at that aspect. What goes on behind the scenes to get the packages? I think 6,000 of them this year.
There are about 5,000 that are going out, and there is a tremendous amount of work that goes into this. And the only way that I am able to do this, the only way that I am able to coordinate this is with very, very good people on the ground who take care of each individual element in this massive project for us. For instance, Rubin takes care of a lot of the resources in the United States, but here we take care of the packing. 1,500 in Jerusalem actually this year, 2,000 in Jerusalem, 2,000 at schools in the Shomron. And then, of course, bringing the packages from the factory, or let's put it this way, all the material that goes into them, from the factory in Netivot. And by the way, we choose Netivot because that is an economically depressed area. And then having this tons of food shipped to each individual location where students and volunteers pack it. Then getting the Army to bring the packages over to the various spaces and then arranging for the distribution. It is really a massive project, but I consider it a privilege to be able to coordinate it for Rubin and for ZOA.
Wonderful, and I think you have other groups also involved too here in Israel that help you.
Yes. There are any number of groups. There's Emunah, there's an organization, Aluma, that particularly services women soldiers. There is the Young Israel. There is the OU, the International Liaisons Office from the Shomron Regional Council. Numerous elements, numerous SRL, various organizations that go into making this whole project the success that it always is.
Looking forward to it. I enjoy this as a highlight, coming here, just being part of this group and see the excitement, the happiness, the joy of the soldiers. Something very, very special. Congratulations, kudos to you and your team here in Israel for putting together really, I think, a marvelous thing, because the soldiers really appreciate it. Even getting just a bag of candy, that's really what it is. And a letter from a child saying how much we appreciate the soldiers brings tears to their eyes, and it's a wonderful experience.
It's as if it was written personally to them, and I enjoy doing it every year. Look forward with some trepidation to all the work that goes into it, but believe you me, I see that smile on those soldiers' faces, and it makes it all worth it. It's all worth it.
Jeff, thank you for a job well done.
Thank you, Zev.
Thank you. We'll be right back with a very special broadcast from various Army bases throughout Israel, giving out Shalach Manos right after these messages.
Stay tuned, we're going to be right back.
Can you read my number? Attention those on Medicare with diabetes. You may be eligible for an upgraded meter.
I am tired of stabbing my fingertips to test my blood glucose. There has got to be a better way.
If you're on Medicare with diabetes, then you need to know there's a new method for checking your blood glucose. You don't need to stab your fingertips anymore. This new Embrace meter is easier to use and nearly painless. And the best news is that Diabetes Care Club will send you one of these new meters.
This new method hurts less, and I don't have to stab my fingertips anymore.
Not only can I see my number, I can hear it too.
Your blood glucose reading is 89.
There's my number.
Find out why nearly 250,000 patients have joined Diabetes Care Club.
Call Diabetes Care Club.
Shipping is free, and so is the call.
Call 1-800-521-7697. Call now.
I'm glad I did.
יהי רצון מלפניך, אדוני אלוהינו ואלי אבותינו, שתוליכנו לשלום ותצעידנו לשלום, תשמחנו לשלום ותגיענו לפרוס רצינו וחיים, שמחה ושלום, תהינו ונהינו לשלום, תצמאנו מכך כל אויב ועוברי וניסים בדרך, וכל מיני רוחניות המתרגשות לבוא.
So everybody say your name and where you're from.
I'm Becca Hurst. I'm from Lawrence, New York. Kaya Kroll from Los Angeles, California. Alana Birchleiser from Lawrence, New York. And I'm Shani Young from Los Angeles, California. So today we're here delivering Mishlach Manot to the soldiers, and the men are all dancing with the men soldiers, the women are all dancing with the women soldiers. It's so beautiful to be able to give back. And we're also giving letters from younger kids in middle school and high school that they wrote, we give them to Chaylim and they love them. It's a beautiful thing and it's really touching to see their faces. When you give them the letter, they're all smiling and it's really nice. Chag Sameach. Chag Sameach.
אנחנו באנו מחוץ לארץ, וגם כן יש כמה אנשים כאן שגרים עכשיו בארץ שעשו עלייה, ובאנו להגיד לכם תודה שאתם שומרים את הארץ לא רק בשביל האנשים שגרים כאן, אבל בשביל כל היהודים בכל העולם, וזה למה באנו להגיד לכם תודה. וקיבלתם עם המשלח מנות, וקיבלתם גם כן מכתבים שכתוב מהתלמידים בחוץ לארץ שכותבים לכם להגיד אותו דבר, תודה על כל מה שאתם עושים, שאתם תצליחו.
Lily's from London, England. Welcome. How did you end up becoming part of the Israeli army?
I love Israel and I want to be part of the Jewish nation, so I made Aliyah and I joined the army, and now I'm here.
When you were in England, did you grow up saying I wanted to do this? Did you grow up saying did you go to Israel as a kid?
Yeah, I was part of the Jewish youth movement. Noam.
What is Noam? The United States not familiar with Noam.
Nifty, it's like UJF.
Okay.
UJF? Nifty?
Okay, very good. Nifty United States,
Yeah.
Okay. So here you're part of the army. How long are you here as part of the Israeli army?
For 2 years.
So tell me about it. Tell me about your experiences.
I don't know how to. It's just. No, I don't. I'm learning so much about Israel, society and culture. Not focused on Jewish culture, but it's also connected.
Now speaking, did you speak Hebrew coming in?
No, I learned in the.
So what happened? Did you feel in the beginning a little out of place that you're speaking English, they're speaking Hebrew? Did you have any situations where it was a little more challenging for you?
Yeah, many. I mean, when I first joined the army, I thought I spoke Hebrew, but I realized I didn't. And on the Tiranot, their basic training, I didn't understand anything that was going on, and everyone was shouting at me in English and Hebrew, and eventually you pick it up because you don't have a choice.
Sure. But you're smiling, so you're enjoying your...
Yeah, and it gives me a lot of hope and comfort and support that you guys come here, and I realize that this is really the thing I want to do.
And how did you feel getting Mishlach Manot from the United States?
Amazing, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
A lot of luck.
Bye.
Thank you. Shani is from Chicago. How'd you get to the Israeli army? Welcome.
Thank you. Well, I made Aliyah almost 4 years ago. Started studying, and then I decided that I needed to do the army. So I
How long are you in the army?
A year and 6 months.
So what kind of experience, how are you enjoying it? Or how do you find it?
There are parts of it that are wonderful, parts of it that are hard, obviously. Definitely glad I did it. Probably would have regretted not doing it.
Kol hakavod to you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I can't believe how many Americans are in the Israeli army, or former Americans. Alicia's from New York City of all places. Nice to see you here. How'd you end up in the Israeli army?
It was a personal decision.
So at one point you decided on making Aliyah, want to be part of the army. How did it work?
I came from a very Zionistic background, and I felt like there are many ways that people can do their part and show their support, and this is the way that I chose to do it.
Which part of New York are you from? A lot of our people, a lot of the viewers that are watching are in the New York City area.
Oh, okay. I'm from the Upper East Side.
And when you go to school in the United States?
When I was in elementary school, I went to Ramaz.
So that infused you with the spirit,
Yes,
where
it
today
did.
you're
Certainly.
here. And how long are you in the army?
A year and a half already, almost out.
Now what kind of adjustment? Here you're speaking English. Well, Ramaz gave you at least the foundation speaking Hebrew.
Foundation, yeah.
But was it adequate enough, or did you have to learn a lot more, obviously, when you came to the army?
When you come, you learn a lot more. I mean, Ramaz does a great job, but there's a lot you pick up on the street and as you go. And the army has its own languages.
And what kind of work do you do in the army?
I've actually had a very eclectic career here. I drafted to be a fighter, and then I went into combat intelligence, intelligence, and now I'm switching to another position because of my back isn't fit for this position.
And so what do you plan on doing after you finish the army?
Going back to studying.
Terrific. And what do you want to be when you're all finished? I'm going to say when you grow up, but you're ready growing up. So when you're all finished.
We'll see where life takes me, but I plan on studying a lot. Tell you that.
Thank you. You should have a lot of luck, and thank you for joining us.
As well.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming out.
Thank you. On this bound from the United States, good to see a fellow West Sider here in Israel and hearing this special mission giving out Shalach Manot. So your impressions giving out Shalach Manot to the soldiers, what comes to your mind?
Happiness and joy for the upcoming holiday.
Terrific. Thank you, Alan. Oshri David with the Shomron Liaison Office helps coordinate some of the aspects for the giving out the Shalach Manos here in the Army base. In fact, we're in the Shomron right now, your territory.
Absolutely. First of all, I would like to welcome you all that you came to the Shomron to see us, to be with us. From one side, we have the hard days today because of the incident, the massacre in Itamar. From the other side, we have Purim, and from Shenichnas Adam Arbim B'Simcha. So this side and that side, we can handle both of them, and we'd like to welcome you all and to tell you thank you that you are supporting us and giving us the fun and the joyness and everything to the communities in the Shomron.
How many Jews are living in the Shomron?
Okay, in the Shomron we have 31 communities. We have 80,000 residents here in the Shomron. 35,000 of them in Ariel, all the other for the 31 communities around the Shomron spread. By the way, the Shomron area is the biggest area. The Shomron Council area is the biggest in Israel. It contains 12% of Israel's state.
Wow.
Yeah. So we have 12% of Israel's state is the Shomron, with 80,000 residents. This is the old Shomron. You are invited to come and see us. We have tours in the Shomron. We are doing tours around the Shomron in Tapuach and Itamar, Habracha, all in Yakir as well. And
we're in Army base right now in Yakir.
We are now in base right now in Yakir. We have a lot of bases. Actually, almost each community in the Shomron has some base
to
protect the community and to give the perimeter defense.
Anyway, thank you for having me.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And you are invited to the Shomron.
Thank you. We are here in the Shomron right now, so we're not only invited. But everybody watching, you're invited to
tours.
Come. Tours, come to the Shomron.
Yeah, come to the Shomron
visit.
For tours. Come visit us. Thank you very much.
Kosher Expeditions provides unique activity-based tour vacations with delicious glatt kosher cuisine, cooked fresh on site to over 30 of the world's most exotic destinations, including Costa Rica, the Canadian Rockies, Spain, and African safari. Relax at our 7-year running Passover holiday adventure located at our Kosher LePesach luxury beachside resort in Costa Rica. Enjoy breathtaking ocean views surrounded by exotic wildlife on an all-inclusive Pesach vacation that includes inspiring lectures, children's programming, and exciting Costa Rican adventure tours during Chol Hamoed. Kosher Expeditions operates year-round tours, offering all-inclusive travel programs to custom and private groups, students, camps, young adults, and regularly scheduled departures. Come tour with the most established kosher tour operator since 1994. Call Kosher Expeditions at 877-JT-KOSHER or visit them online at kosherexpeditions.com, the source for exciting worldwide kosher adventure.
Is getting a good night's sleep getting impossible? Well, not anymore. Introducing Side Sleeper Pro. It's much more than a good night's sleep. The secret is Side Sleeper Pro's doctor-developed ergonomic patented design to help support the neck and spine. Here's how it works. Watch as Side Sleeper Pro guides your head, neck, and vertebrae into natural alignment, relieving pressure on the neck while unrestricting airways. The tail cradles your back to ensure correct posture. Now you can wake with less stiffness and feel rested thanks to improved sleep posture. Side Sleeper Pro is only $39.99 and it's guaranteed to work. But wait, order right now and we'll cut the price to $19.99. We'll include a washable cotton pillowcase for free. Call or order online at sidesleeperpro.com and we'll double your order. Just pay the additional processing and handling. That's 2 Side Sleeper Pros for the price of 1.
To get 2 Side Sleeper Pros and 2 pillowcases for $19.99, call 1-800-760-0735 or visit sidesleeperpro.com.
Originating at various army bases throughout Israel, 11th annual mission of Brooklyn ZOA giving out Mishlach Manot baskets to Israeli soldiers to say thank you. Mark's from England.
Hi.
And Shachar is from here in Israel. So welcome and tell us, how did you end up here? From London.
Good question.
Are you from London originally?
Yeah, I'm from London. I volunteered to do the army and I ended up being put in Abba. And I got moved here about a month ago to this place.
Now in England you grew up involved in the Jewish community? You go to Israel often?
I went to Jewish school and I was bar mitzvah and stuff. So I was always kind of involved. My grandparents were from Israel. So
you always had a connection?
Yeah, so I always had a connection. I've still got a little bit of family here and stuff. So.
And Shachar, you were born here? So.
Yeah, born in Israel.
But you speak English very well. How did you learn English?
From school and travels all over the world.
So I see it says Madrichas. Tell us what you do in the army.
I'm a sport coach.
You're a sport director?
Coacher. Sport coacher.
Oh, and what is that activities do you engage in, for example?
All the sport things that we need to do here.
Sounds so exciting. And thank you for joining us. And how do you feel getting some Mishlach Manot from America?
Very nice. Thank you, Americans, from your friends across the pond.
I love the accent. I love the Israeli accent. Tada.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Take off the barrel every 300 rounds and replace it with a new one until the other one can cool off.
Seems like only yesterday I was standing in an army base with Rubin Margules, but this is the 11th year that he's doing, the second time that we're here, distributing Mishlach Manot to army bases throughout Israel. It's Rubin's brainchild 11 years ago, and every year it grows and grows, and thank you for having us again here.
And it's nice to see, first of all, you were here yesterday. We were doing other bases yesterday as well.
Yes,
okay, so this is our second day of touring the Shomron over here and saying thank you to the soldiers, which is what we do and which is what is so important and why we get the support of the organizations outside over here. And they love these letters. You notice how everybody's
very emotional.
Letters, very emotional, and the students should be complimented and congratulated on participating in this. And it's also nice to see other organizations picking up on the theme. Because I even saw an organization that used our our slogan, bring joy to the soldiers. So I hope they're doing the same thing what we're doing, and maybe we can double our efforts like that.
Now, how did you get the idea to do this project? It's a massive undertaking, coordinating with the Army. I mean, we walk in, it looks very easy, but it's not.
Well, you see right over here, this exhibit that they put on special for us. If you take a look at some of the weaponry over here and everything else, and everybody is really appreciative of seeing what the Army does, how tough it is. I mean, try to lift up some of these weapons, and you'll see, how they work. And these guys are out in the shetachim, they're out in the fields, looking for infiltrators, trying to capture the perpetrators of the Itamar massacre over here. Okay, these are soldiers that are really, part of the fighting, the fighting soldiers in Israel. And how I started, getting back to your question.
I don't know what gave you the idea to say you're sitting in America, you're sitting in Brooklyn. How did you end up decide to give out?
I had met a guy by the name of Colonel Moshe Biton, who headed up Sarel, which is for volunteers for Food
which we spent with them
right, yesterday. And he was at the time, he wanted me to do something for Rosh Hashanah, but Zaman Katzar, it was a short time span, so I said, listen, I can't do it at Rosh Hashanah, but let's work on something for Purim. And it started 11 years ago, and every year it just turns you on more and more by seeing how appreciative these soldiers are and how they enjoy getting something from Chutz La'aretz, knowing people really care about them and knowing people support them. And that's very, very important because they're always, they're up on the news too. And they hear what CNN says, they hear what the Times says, they hear what Obama says. Okay? But the reality is when you come here with people from New York, people who did Aliyah, all that you see around you, and they get that feeling and they read these letters. And it's, and you see the smile and you see the thank you. We come to thank them, but instead they thank us. And that's a wonderful feedback, and it makes you come every year.
Now, you've given, I think, about 5,000 plus packages just this year alone. 11th year. What are you doing for the 12th year, and what are you planning for the Bar Mitzvah year?
Well, it depends on our supporters out there. It depends on our contributors. It depends on the people who really care and want to make a difference, at least for a little bit, in the lives of these soldiers, and who recognize the important work that they do. And like I tell them, they are the Shomrim, and we appreciate them because they're not only Shomer Yisrael, the land of Israel, but they're Shomer for Kol Am Yisrael, the entire nation of Israel. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Rubin Margules, and he's the head of the ZOA in Brooklyn, but he does a lot of important work for the Jewish community, and this is his pet project, bringing holiday cheer for Purim. Matanos Lev, he's bringing special Shalach Manos to the Israeli soldiers, 5,000 plus, and may continue for many more years to come. And we're waiting for the big Bar Mitzvah celebration.
Right, like they say, Knosset Kol HaYehudim, gathering all the Jews, everybody together. So this is one expression of that.
Thank you.
Breathe in there.
Not good if you have allergies.
We're speaking to Yaron from Jerusalem. He's in literally camouflage. He looked like he was the ground. Is that something that's just part of the training where you actually will lie? How long were you lying in wait for us? We were here, you put on a demonstration for us. How long were you waiting for us?
2 hours.
Oh, you weren't lying 2 hours for us. You were lying there 2 hours waiting for us. He was lying, Yaron was lying as part of the
This uniform is very hot.
Is it hot?
Yeah.
It must be hot weather.
Look this.
So you look literally, you can, so you train where you can lie on the ground, you can wait, but you're holding a gun while you're waiting?
We can wait in this uniform 4 days, 5 days. In the Lebanon, in the border of Lebanon, we use it.
And you need special training, or you have to be patient, you have to lie there for hours and hours, right?
Yeah.
But you have the gun, and what happens? You get a signal that you have to go and do action? Is that how it works?
Yeah. When something, when people touching the border in Lebanon, we just...
What's the longest amount of time that you've lain on the ground with this camouflage outfit? Has it been hours? It hasn't been days, but it's been many hours, right?
Yeah. It's 4 days, 5 days in a week. Only in Shabbat, we're back to the base.
But you don't have to lie 4 days in a row. You can get up and somebody else takes your place, right?
Yeah, my partner.
Oh, your partner.
My partner stay with me. You can see that.
Okay.
You can see the shot.
Oh, you see the shot, right? On the target.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's very.
So you're lying in ground, but you're holding this as part of your lying, and you can see your target.
Yeah. And we fix it. And they fix me. Take like 3, this scopes. Look at this.
Scope.
And we fix it.
And you fix it, and you put this camera goes on here, and you're ready.
It's the second day. Very close to me.
Very close to you. Yeah. So thank you, and you're happy to see us from America bringing the Mishlach Manot.
Yeah.
Thank you for all the work that you're doing.
God bless you.
God bless you and keep you safe and strong, and all the army safe and strong.
Thank you very much.
Toda Rabba. Good to see familiar faces here in Israel. Jan Fenster is on the executive committee of the ZOA Long Island chapter. He's here and giving out Mishlach Manot to the Israeli soldiers. Good to see you.
Great to see you, Zev. I want you to know, everybody there in the States, this is the place to be, especially with the ZOA, giving Mishlach Manot to the soldiers, telling them thank you for your sacrifices for which we benefit, and to see the expressions on these soldiers' faces, and to hear them thank us when they're the ones who deserve thanks. It's really an amazing experience. Chag Sameach.
Rabbi Steve Harrisburg, the president of the National Young Israel Movement, they're here together with the ZOA. They joined the ZOA, giving out Mishlach Manot here in the Army base throughout Israel. So good to see you.
It's good to see
How's
you
it going?
too. Welcome. Thank you. I think it's been a wonderful day so far. We've enjoyed ourselves immensely. I don't think there's anything that we've done here as part of the International Young Israel Movement that gives us as much enjoyment and gets so many people involved, and so many people experience what it truly is meaningful and a wonderful experience to be here delivering Mishlach Manot. It's a wonderful time. We thank you and thank the ZOA for spending this wonderful day with us, and we look forward to sharing many wonderful experiences together.
And it's nice to see, because the ZOA is spearheaded, but nice to see the Israel being involved and joining the ZOA. It's good to see that achdus, that unity. We need more of that, right?
I think we make
more
a perfect team, and I'm looking forward to doing other things together. Thanks very much for being here. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good to meet
you.
Good to see you.
Boy, I can't believe how many former Americans I'm seeing here. Daniel from Teaneck, New Jersey, and Mayor from Memphis. I know your aunt Fran. Wow, it's unbelievable.
Speak Southern to
Now you're from Memphis, Tennessee. So how'd you end up in the Israeli army?
I made a year and a half ago, and I learned in Yeshiva Gush.
Did the rest of your family make Aliyah too? Just you? You're here alone. Was it hard to get into to acculturate to the army?
It was difficult. I English,
but you're doing okay now. And you're from Teaneck, New Jersey?
I am from Teaneck.
And what kind of background you come from?
So I grew up religious. Yeshiva Gush also. Me and Mayor came to the army together. We didn't understand the word. We were totally lost at the beginning. But here we are today.
Where did you learn in the university? TABC. Oh, wow. And you have that Zionistic spirit. You come to Israel more.
He's come to Israel with my family a lot. Also has a Shabbat for many years. And TBC itself also. So all these different influences together. Then I came to Yeshiva for the year. And then
did the rest of your family come with you, or you just came?
Unfortunately not, but I'm hoping.
Now, just curious to know, even though you went to Yeshiva, your Hebrew wasn't so close, wasn't so good, right? So
it was okay.
Were you able to manage in the army, or were there many times where your commander told you to do things and you didn't understand what he said, did the opposite? Did that happen?
There were many of those.
Okay, right? So you had to relearn Hebrew, so to speak.
Something like that.
Something like that. But now you're fluent.
Not fluent, but getting there. Thank God.
So I'm glad to see, good to see fellow Americans here, and how does it feel to see? Were you surprised to see New Yorkers and give out Mishlach Manot?
It's really nice to see. Sometimes we forget that Jews all around the world, they care about us, they're doubting about us every day. Like, I know that, I come from Ireland. A lot of the guys here don't know anyone in Kutzar. It's amazing them for to see that really, like, people all over the world really care and bring us presents and really are davening for us. It's really an amazing feeling for all the guys here. So thank you.
Thank you. So that's what you're doing, and you're doing wonderful things. Thank you. Speaking with Rael as in Israel, but Rael's from South Africa. It's amazing how international the Israeli army is. So how long are you here from South Africa?
I've been in Israel 3 years. Spent 2.5 years learning yeshiva.
Which yeshiva?
Yeshiva Har Etzion.
Har Etzion.
Which was well known in America. And now I've been in the army 9 months.
And you came with your family?
No, I'm by myself.
By yourself with that. So you're in the army 9 months. How did you find adjusting to the army?
Tough at first, but thank God we got used to it. The yeshiva prepared us really well, and once we were in, you start, as they say in Hebrew, Lizrom. You go with the flow and get used to what it goes on.
You doing the South African in the unit, or you have other staff members?
There's one other guy from Cape Town with me. He was actually at school with me. I came on a program in year 10. Another Israeli, and a couple of Australians around, a couple of guys from France, one from Belgium. Nice international community in the army.
Absolutely, and you said it was a little hard adjustment at first because of language barriers, custom barriers,
custom culturally, and also getting used to having someone on top of your head telling you what to do.
What, your parents didn't tell you what to do growing up?
Yeah, but you can't.
It's a little different.
You can get around that one.
But if your commander tells you to do something, you can't get around that, right?
Yeah, that's a bit more challenging than my parents. Yeah.
This is the army.
Yeah.
Terrific. And what are you going to do once you finish?
I'm going to actually swim for a bit, and then after that, I don't know, engineering, accounts, something of the sort.
Terrific. Thank you. And thank you for all that you're doing for all of us.
Thanks very much for coming to visit us. I think it's great lifting the spirits of the guys. I think it's an amazing thing that we know we've got so much support out there in the world where not everyone supports us. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Stay tuned, we're going to be right back.
If you've ever considered hosting your own radio or TV show, then we can help you. Talkline Communications works with individuals and groups interested in broadcasting on radio and TV. Ideal for lawyers, doctors, financial advisors, organizations, or anyone interested in broadcasting. Talkline works with various TV and radio stations in New York and around the country that lease airtime at competitive rates so we can pass on that savings to you. For more information, call us at 212-769-1925. That's 212-769-1925.
We hope you've enjoyed our very special broadcast originating from various army bases throughout Israel and Brooklyn ZOA's 11th annual mission giving out Mishlach Manot Purim baskets to Israeli soldiers. Join us again next week, same time, same station, here on the Talkline Communications Network. From Israel, Shalom.
Purim Sameach! Happy Purim Sameach!
Thank you very much.
Hi Mom, hi Harry, hi Jonathan, hi Abba.
America, very good. Purim Sameach! Purim Sameach! Happy Purim! Happy Purim!
Shemmy. There we go. We gotta go. Save your voice.